Hello everyone, this is CLEFABLE. In this video, we will analyze together our final project for this semester in data science. This is our proposal. We are three members who work on this project. I'm Abdul myself, who is speaking for opening speech, Zera and Aisha, who give the best effort on this project. Our purpose on this project is to analyze sales data from more than 60,000 games. We will give the link below for the dataset. Attribute in the dataset, rank, name, platform. But the mod used is global sales because we compare the global sales per region, per year, per platform, etc. Motivations, and why we decide to work on this project. But it's like we're not here. We think it is a comprehensive data set that can answer many questions. So actually, I will say that let's study our project. Let's check together our project. For this project, we use Python on Jupyter. We import necessary libraries. As you can see, pandas, numpy, etc., the necessary libraries which help us to show the information that contain our data set. Here, the data that's head show the information that contain all the data into our Excel file. Data that sort value year global sale. It shows us our data per year and according to the global sales. Example, 1918, the global sales was, I would say, 24%, and of course, the 26,000 platform. That's the name of platform. Also, the game is checkers and bridge, etc. Data that's here, that's unique. Unique function give us all the information unique that we have in the data. Example, like in our data, we have kind of 2006, 2006, 1985, 2008, more and repeat again. So if you want to see just the year unique, we can see as here 2006 has been repeated once in this data set, 2007 once, 2010 once, etc. Data that here, that max function give us the maximum of the year, of year that we have in the data. Minimum also the minimum data set, minimum the year that we have in our data set. Data that platform unique, that is the unique part of this, the platform, the unique platform that we have in the data. Here, we want to check if there is a null number in the year platform, the year attribute. So here we can see that we don't have any of null values in this area. Here is where our project starts. Really, we start questioning what we are going to do on this project. Game set on console by years. Like I divide the platform that we have into two parts: 7th generation and 8th generation. 7th generation platform we have Wii, PS3, and X360, and 8th generation Wii platform, PS4, etc. So shape function show us the number of the array that we have in that kind of data set. And here I show all the data set that we have. Of course, I write it like that, and to see the shape of this platform function that I wrote in. I wrote in here. For the next part, I show the as pie chart all the data sets, of course, platform attribute that we have here to show us which platform is the most seller in the market. And here we can see that 40% PS2 is the highest seller in the market. 55% for 8th generation of platform games, PS4 is the more seller. Here, I show as a pie chart in year of 2011, which platforms of games also have the best seller, like who also have the best seller into the market, which platform dominates the market, I will say. So that's what we show here on this pie chart. Like, I don't need to evaluate also the code that I have been wrote here, because I don't have many times to show you all the show all code that I have been wrote here. But like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain like that. Here I use line chart to show the information that we have into our data set. Here I show the platform that we have. Of course, it's just 7th generation platforms that we have here to show us how was the market between, like I will say, since this platform have been out and until 2016, I will say, and we can see here in 360 have been hit the top here. It shows that this on this graph that is 360 dominate the market. That's what we can read from this graph. And here also for the 8th generation of platform that have been printed here, we can see that each one dominate the market also for the 8th generation platform consoles. For the next part, I want to see also as a line chart which genre, like how we say, which platform dominate the market also. And as you can see here, adventure hit the top here. Obviously, it's not in red, I think, this color, but you understand more. That's what I want to explain here. So it's not a big deal, this part. So I will continue. I think for my part is the end actually. I will give the discussion, like the speech to Aisha, who will be continuing with us to analyze together our data, our project, final projects in data science. So we are with you, Aisha. Thank you.
Hello. One of the results we want to research and see and compare the amount of sales in the regional game market separately. First, we will compare regional sales rate. We looked at the data of the years. We didn't use years with little data like this, so we got it until 2016. It can be seen from the graph that, as expected, the number of global sales has always been higher from 1980 to 2016. There is no big difference the markets between 1980 and 1995. However, after 1995, North America market got ahead by a big difference from other markets. The Europe market follows that. As can be seen from the graph, there not had been much sales in the Japan market compared to other markets. Japan market. There is no big difference in sales rates over the years. These are the results we want to see and expect before starting to studying. The graphics has confirmed this. These sales is different are related to the population, average age and culture in the region of sale. 2080 2018 had a blast in sales nearly in all the markets. To confirm that, we can investigate the sales which took place between 2005 and 2010. PC3 was released in 2006, and to prevent pirate selling of the games, enforced online integration of the games. As a result, the games could not be pirated anymore, and the gamers had to purchase the games. This lasted through the end of the 2010. However, by the end of 2010, PC3 was hacked so that people could pirate games and play them without purchasing them. It is obvious that this was the reason why the market experienced a fall after 2010. The graph also confirmed this. If we examine the sales in the North America market, the highest sales were made in 2008 and about 350 millions. If we examine the sales in the Europe market, the highest sales were made in 2009 and about 190 millions. In 2006, Japan market made the highest sale and about 75 millions. Sales rates in other markets reached 85 millions in 2008, and this is the year other markets made the best sales, very close to the sales rate of the Japan markets. That is the same year global sales reached the highest sale in 2008 and about 680 millions. We have studied to analyze the sales that was made in regional markets. We are expecting the most surprising results from Japan, because the Japanese culture is very different, and it will tell us if culture has an effect on people's choices on games. So, the most preferred game genre is action in North America. Top 3 genres are action, sports, and shooter games. In the Europe market, top 3 genres are action, sports, and shooter games. Results have been very different as expected in Japanese market, and the top genre is role-playing. Japanese culture has a lot to do with it. If we take a look other and global sales, action, sports, and shooter took the top 3 place in genres. So these are 576 unique publishers in our dataset. The publishers that we analyzed are the best sales on the markets. This is the top 10 video games publishers according to game amount. The Electronic Arts publisher ranks first, and the amount of game it broadcast is 1339. Activision publisher ranks second, and amount of games it broadcast is 966. We list the publishers from big to small on global market. This is top 10 video game publishers according to global game sales. The best seller publisher is Nintendo, and there is a big difference between other publishers. We list the publishers from big to small on Japan market. We show it on the bar chart like this. Nintendo has dominated Japan market because Nintendo is a Japanese company. Same way, we list the publisher from big to small on Europe market, and we show it on bar chart. As the other markets, Nintendo ranks first, and the second one is Electronic Arts. We list the publisher from big to small on North America. Also, the best seller is publisher is Nintendo. The second one is Electronic Arts. When we look at the other market, unlike previous market, Electronic Arts ranks first and Nintendo is the second. When we look at the general, Nintendo is published top-selling games. If we show the publishers selling in the global market by years, the line chart looks like this. Nintendo and Electronic Arts are seen ahead. When we show the bubble chart, we see more clearly. The line chart is a good choice for showing sales changes. The year range has been reduced to see more detailed and clearer results. Nintendo became top-selling publisher in 2016. After 2004, there has been a big increase in its sales. When we show in the bubble chart, the activity over the years looks more detailed. Here, the sales figures and preferred games top 5 companies in the global market in 2009 are shown on Sunburst graph. Let's examine the top publishers. Nintendo. It is the most preferred type of sports in Nintendo games. The best-selling game in sport genre is Wii Sports Resort. When we draw the same graphic for Japan market, Nintendo is widely noticed. New Super Mario Bros. The most preferred game on Nintendo is platform genre. Then line chart, bubble chart and sunburst chart in Europe markets. Again, the best-selling publisher is Nintendo. The best-selling genre is sports, and the game is Wii Sports Resorts. North America line chart, bubble chart, and sunburst chart. Nintendo is the first publisher and genre is sports, and game is Wii Sports Resort like Europe markets. For the other markets, results are achieved in North America and Europe markets. Lastly, if we look global game sales according to years, for genre, action games it's action games were the first to catch the eye, then sports games follow.
Ayşe here. I'll examine the general video game market overview of my teammates specifically for the game. In this part of the project, the aim is to connect the change in global sales of the games on the chart with and cause and effect relationship. Few games were overweight in the not to exceed the time limits given for project presentation. I choose the Plotly library for visualization. In this section, I took all the data of the Grand Theft Auto series in the dataset and I showed this data on the bubble chart. Thanks to Plotly library, we can examine the data more easily. I'll examine all these details while comparing them with the driver series. In this section, I compared the global sales amounts of the games of the Grand Theft Auto series. As you can see, the best-selling game is Grand Theft Auto 5, followed by Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Grand Theft Auto's genre is action. Here in the same way as for Grand Theft Auto, I took the data of the driver series and I used it on the bubble chart. But unlike Grand Theft Auto, I added the Watch Dogs series to this data. Because Watch Dogs series is a new series that is a continuation of the driver series. Here, when compare the Watch Dogs and driver series together, we can see that the Watch Dogs series are very popular after the driver series and original driver series and driver 2 sold well. At the same time, we can see that the Atari was the publisher of the first driver series and then it was sold to Ubisoft. We can call the driver series racing and action general. If we compare the three series together, we can see that driver series sold more than the Grand Theft Auto 1 in the first periods. Later, thanks to structural changes of Grand Theft Auto in the game and increase in the amount of sales with Grand Theft Auto 3 was observed. In this process, the driver 3 failed a great deal and was sold to Ubisoft. Although driver San Francisco with Ubisoft picked up the sales amount, the impact of driver 3 and changes in the game affected the series. Therefore, in order to start from scratch, the driver series continued its name as Watch Dogs. Thank you for listening to us.